Almost every project since moving here has been a first for us. But after 12 months of repetition, I've started to recognize a pattern. At the outset of every project, in the back of my mind, I'm already planning for what happens after its inevitable failure. Some might call that pessimism, but us pessimists would say we're being realistic. Anyway, because our projects are generally tailor-made, they always meet an impasse. A point that forces us to pause and either rework our plan or give up. Just missed,
Oh, is he going after a chipmunk?
he spotted one, yeah.
Of course.
Get him! What about you? You didn't even see, huh? You didn't even see what's going on, huh?
It's not a matter of seeing. She just doesn't care.
Yeah. She's
Griever.
He's like, it's food. She's like, yeah, but it's raw.
She's all, it's not food.
Oh, look, there he is.
Where'd he go?
He's back behind the matrix.
Oh, I don't think I caught him. He's fast. Griever doesn't even know he bounced yet.
I know.
Now every time he does that, my brain is just like, I'm just in it for the chase. It's a beautiful day.
Our mountains are getting some snow.
Yeah.
So
We
even
need
though the
that.
weather is not great, I'm happy about what's happening up there.
Yeah, we need that.
We do. Yeah, we need like 3 times that amount of snowpack.
We need that
And then we need
up
this.
there, rain down here.
Yeah, yeah.
It's going to be a dry one.
I know. This summer's going to be rough. So it looks like the rain's is going to come in and prevent us from working. But what we got to do is, we had a full day of rain yesterday. It was only sprinkling, but it was probably 8 to 10 hours of it.
A little bit more than a sprinkle, I think.
Yeah, it was a little
Yeah.
bit more.
Yeah, we were getting puddles and the road got a lot of puddles in it.
Yeah.
We got basically all that yesterday.
And that accrued down there, yeah. So that all kind of piled up yesterday. So part of me thinks maybe I just cut the lining and let it fall into the bucket, but then that's all that dirt. We can go find the sump pump and see if that'll pull.
See if we can pump.
But I don't think that's gonna work either.
I mean, I think the water is the least of our problems. It's that dirt down there, right?
Yeah.
Hey, big girl, why don't you go down there and drink all that up?
Yeah. So that's step 1, is getting the water out of there and getting the bucket situated. Then we've got our pump, and actually I should have brought that out so we could talk about it. I'm gonna go get it.
Okay.
So this was our original pond. This was set up over here with the little wheelbarrow there,
that's
the little
right.
wheelbarrow there, at an angle with some rocks in it. And then this was the pump, this pump here,
It's a cute little pump.
and this moves water. This was moving water through this messed up pipe down here. This messed up. I know. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You guys,
I know.
you get down to their level.
Good timing. I know. They're like, this is on you.
Yeah, you came down here. So yeah, we had like a little, I mean, was that like a 2-inch by 1.5-inch pump?
Yeah. So the engine for that. So this is the solar panel for it here.
I'm surprised it's even running today.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's still working.
It's still working,
It's
yeah.
just really little.
It's real little. And this is, so the pumps are rated on gallons per,
I think it's per hour.
it's gallons per hour moved. So GPH. And this one right here is a 2 gallon per hour pump.
Okay.
So with that little panel, it moves 2 gallons through the engine every hour. So what we ended up buying here, this guy,
It's a much bigger pump.
a much bigger pump. You can see the thread up here is a full 1/2 inch. That's like a 1/6 of an inch.
Right.
So much bigger. This is with the intake through here. This will sit at the bottom of our 5-gallon bucket. And it came with this. It came with this amount of pipe.
Was 6 feet?
It was 6 or 10, yeah, 6 or 10. But either way, not nearly enough. So I bought a 20-footer, and it's black anyway, which is better. What you want is black. So you can see in this here all the growth happening inside of there. And
is that because the sunlight could get to it?
That's partly our sediment, and partly because the sunlight is allowing things to kind of, yeah, it is. So the black will cut down on that. It's not going to eliminate it by any means, but it will cut down on it, which is what we need. But in order to size up to a pump this big, traditionally, you're going to want a big pump that's going to push, hundreds of gallons. And that's what this one is. I don't think I mentioned that. This is 450 gallons an hour is what this moves.
Really?
And our
That's a lot.
pond,
Griever.
we're thinking, is 300 to 400 gallons.
We think, yeah.
We think around that. It's about 3 feet deep by about 2.5 to 3 feet out. Before it starts getting shallow, it's a total of 5 feet out. But
Right.
so this will cycle the full pond every hour, which is exactly what we want. And in order to get that cascading effect on the water, we needed this thing to be moving
because you want
a lot more.
a wide waterfall at the top.
Yeah.
So we basically needed more power.
Yeah, but we wanted to remain solar.
Of course.
This is the same company that makes our lights out front. And they make this modular system here. And in fact, I guess the battery's still on its way, huh?
We get it on Monday, supposedly.
Oh, okay. So all of their stuff uses this, and it's proprietary, which is a shitty move on their part, but they have these hookups, and you can piece together what you need between their solar panels, their pumps, or their lights,
Once you have a
battery packs to keep those things charged and running.
Once you have a
cetera,
solar
et cetera.
panel, you can buy the different things for it.
Yeah, and it's kind of the system we were looking for. Now, it's not the ideal system I'm looking for, where it's a battery pack with a 12-volt outlet where you can just plug in something.
Things with connectors that we can just buy wherever.
But look at the size of this.
Pretty good solar panel.
This is the solar panel for this thing, which is a pretty substantial size. Aluminum body. Even EcoFlow, our beloved EcoFlows, when we buy their solar panels, they are the crummiest, crappiest, most throwaway product that you can buy. And they all make them. Jackery, they all make these really inferior solar panels that they say are mobile, that you have to treat like porcelain when you're out and about. These things, pretty solid. The ones that we've had down at the end of the driveway, they've been
standing up to the wind.
Standing up to the wind and holding up to the weather just fine. Hopefully this panel produces more than enough to run the pump and keep everything. I bought this sheet of expanding foam that we're going to sink into the bucket.
At the top?
At the top, over the pump, to give it some filtration. The pump has its own little filter, but the more we can filter that water down as it's moving through that pump,
keep its life.
Yeah, the better. I'd much rather, be able to pop off that lid, reach out, grab this, clean it out, and put it back in there.
That makes sense, yeah. I think that's the smart way to go.
So that's our filter. That's our filter and our pump. Let's take a walk here. So the other missing piece to our pond,
I know.
it's like beach sand now.
I know, the water.
You can make a castle out of that.
It's good sand.
It's great sand.
It's going to make some good mortar.
I hope so.
This is going to be the waterfall, right?
Yes.
You're torn between using it.
I still am. I resigned myself that this is going to be for our waterfall.
Because it'd be a great garden sink.
It would be an amazing garden sink, but we'll find something that'll be equally as good for that. And this is going to give us let's go take a look. Let's go set it into place.
It's the width that you're wanting.
Yeah, it's a huge width. It might be even too big, but
I don't believe you when you say something like that.
No, I know.
You make me suspect when you're reasonable about something.
Oh no, it's good.
No, that's kind of perfect. That's exactly what you had spaced out with your hands.
So it'll sit at an angle like this. And we're going to bury it in a little bit. We're going to fill it up with some rocks. We're going to put some rocks around the edges of the back half, but it should spill up over this lip.
Right.
And create that first initial drop. And the kind of cool benefit we have is I think I'm just going to run the pipe.
I was going to say
right in the bottom here. Yeah. That'll give us everything we need.
Yeah, because we can bury it. We can bury the hose from the top down under here.
Yeah.
have it come out at the base of the waterfall, and then we hide it in our rocks and where it connects to the pump.
Yeah.
I like that. Then we always have access to that.
Yeah, we'll have access to it. As much as I am a little sad that we're using this thing here,
No, it's a good sink.
it's the perfect piece to put here to do what we need to do.
It is exactly what we needed. It's not too deep.
Yeah. This will be our top, spilling into our waterfall, down into our pond. So I think we've got a few things to do here today before the rain hits us, if the rain hits us.
It might just be cold and cloudy.
Which I'm more okay with than the rain. I would rather it not be either of
Yeah,
those things. I would rather
but
it just be nice.
I'd rather it be dry and cold
Yeah, yeah.
if we're working out in it. Corkscrew's looking great.
Oh, it's love and life.
I'm telling you all I know. Are you hearing me? It's coming through what I think uncontrollably. I'm asking you to listen up, maybe understand. It's all I have to give you. It's my helping hand. I'm leaving you all I've done. That means everything. It's staring you, shout it out. Everyone should sing. Can't hear the sound of my voice. Can't hear the sound of my struggling voice. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me?
I'm gonna set up Mom at this table to,
That's why I was kind of clearing
Yeah.
clearing the area for her to give her some.
You think these scraps are firewood now? Put them in the sink.
Yeah, we'll put it in the sink for now. I'll move them over. We broke this out to fill up the wheelbarrow, but all of our tires are low, so we might as well just hit them off. Okay, tires should be full.
Nice, nice. What's the plan now?
No plan. I just want to see if it works.
Well, I cleared off a spot.
I feel like it did something.
I mean, it's mixed up more.
It is a little mixed up more, but. So, this is our. What was this one called again?
It was a globe willow.
A globe willow.
It's not doing that.
We bought 3 willows last summer. We bought a corkscrew willow
And two.
and 2 globe willows. One died pretty immediately.
Yep.
One of the globe willows. The corkscrew willow, it looked sickly, but that's the way they look.
When we got it?
When we got it.
Oh, I was gonna say.
And it looks amazing now.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
it looks
gorgeous.
so good right now. But our second globe willow over here is not doing well.
No.
There are buds. I do see buds happening, so it's not dead.
I just don't like the color.
But I don't like the color, and you can see here, we've got a few areas we've got more than a few areas like this
Yeah.
on the property, but in some places where we planted, what we've noticed is you get these buildups on the top of the soil, and this white that they call bug dust is caliche. It's high sodium. It's a buildup
There's a lot of
of
minerals.
a concentrate of a mineral.
Yeah.
And you don't really know that it's that concentration until you get something planted and you start watering it and the water starts beating
Right.
off of the ground. Now that we've been here a year, we've recognized a few areas that are trouble areas, and this is one of them.
Yep.
So we're gonna move it. Where are you thinking?
I was just getting ready to ask you that.
I've got a couple ideas.
I would love to hear 'em.
Okay, one is over by Emma's Cafe Pond addition
Oh, we talked about that on the other side of the rock.
on the other side of the rocks. That would put both our willows in the same area, which isn't bad. It would create a cool little look for that area, but
It would also give us a nice little grouping of trees happening.
yeah. The other thing I was thinking is
Oh, that's close to the house.
it's very close to the house. It would start to give us some shade, although it's on the wrong side, I guess, for most.
When it's summer, it's that sun up there. Remember how we never had front shade?
Oh, that's right.
We would always wind up in the afternoon escaping to behind. the
Yeah.
shade.
And as it gets bigger, it'll start to shade the porch a little bit better. You know, we wanted to finish this off and do a table here. It'll start to be something that we can tie lights to and block us from the wind. You know, because our wind is this way that we get the most wind.
Right.
All of our stuff blows towards the freeway. So
True.
having a tree here would give us a little bit of insulation. But it is right out front.
I like all of the things you're saying. You know, I like both locations. That one, either way
That
we
one on the
go,
other side of the pond.
either way we go, that creates a cool triangle and a shade effect for when it's bigger. And if it goes here, it's a cool triangle here.
With these three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we anticipating keeping this as a driveway? Or eventually this is not going to be a driveway?
Yeah, and even as I place that there, I'm like, you know, maybe we tuck it in just a bit more. Because I do want to keep this as a throughway to bring supplies in, get into our orchard, into our garden.
And plus, when we're building up
Yeah.
on the hill,
Because, so if we do over here, that's my face rock?
that's your face rock.
Or at the top of the corner is not bad. So it sits here, and then, you know, as the rocks get removed and as this area gets finished, this can have its own little half table or a bench, or maybe we do a little patch of grass here that extends out from the,
A table on that side would be nice.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea. Okay, so this spot or in front of the house?
What do you think?
I know we'll make it right. We've been here before. I know we crossed the line. It's hard to ignore. This weight is down on me. You've got me on my knees. Won't you give me sweetness and light for my restless mind? Please give me a way to escape this world gone astray. You could give me a little peace of mind in these troubled times. Won't you give me a way to be free from these chains that bind me?
Okay.
Supplies.
The last of our pond pieces here. So, I'm sure those of you watching, many of you, when I said we're going to cut a hole in the bottom of this, were like, why? You have a waterproof membrane. Don't cut a hole in it. But sinking the pump down lower is smarter for a multitude of reasons. Giving it its own cavity that we can clean and maintain, super smart. Having it have its own filtration system within that bucket, also smart. And separating it from our sandy base of our pond is a good idea. So in order to make sure that we're still watertight after we have cut a hole in that thing, we've got a few different things. So first of all, we've got a lid for a 5-gallon bucket here. So we're gonna cut into that, then this will snap on top, and then we'll probably cut a hole in this or drill holes into it. Or
And the filter will attach to that, the black part, or
no,
this is just the cover?
this is just a lid.
Got it.
So this will sit over it and create a seal, hopefully, that runs over the rubber on top of the bucket. And then inside the bucket itself, where the rubber hangs over, we're gonna use this vinyl cement here, okay? We're gonna use this vinyl cement, and stuff will be on the bucket with the rubber on top of it, giving us that seal. And I'll probably just finish it up with some duct tape. This is for aesthetic. It's not gonna do anything for the water. And then the last little thing here is I got 2 cans of landscape foam. This is a new product to me. I've
Yeah.
never heard of this product.
Me either.
So it's spray foam. It's expanding spray foam. It's in a black color, and it's for stone and block. And the reason that I picked this up is we want our waterfall to cascade down these rocks. And then I've angled them a little bit so that all the water should be flowing forward. I'd like to just go under them or in between them in certain spots along the back and spray a little bit of this as we set the next rock on top of it, just to give us a little bit of a barrier between the rocks and the dirt.
Right.
Erosion is kind of our biggest enemy here. You know,
Since the water's constantly flowing.
the water's constantly flowing, and our membrane doesn't go right up. Ideally, it should go up, and we tuck it up under the waterfall, and we'd have nothing to worry
Right, and we're
about.
stacking the rocks on top of it.
You know, I want this edge eventually to have stuff growing in it,
Yeah.
even if it's just moss or something, but I want kind of a living edge here.
Yeah, something that's like holding the water. and-
Yeah. So I don't want to just cover it all up with plastic or rubber. That's fine to hold the water, and that's what we're using it for, but where I can, I want the water to be benefiting this little area and helping things grow and greening them. Anyway, so the foam is for the waterfall. So that was it in talking about our steps, getting the waterfall into place, and then doing this last little track right here,
Oof, going right in there.
this little ledge right here.
Yeah, figuring out how we're covering that.
This isn't gonna be sand right here. We're gonna stack rocks here and create a little ledge, and then the sand will be here-ish.
Yeah, some will migrate down because of
Yeah,
course, but-
sure. It's just the nature of it for sure. But okay, well, I think we just gotta pop the cherry on this, and
Oof, I don't like that phrasing.
okay, I think we need Steve too. Let's say pull the trigger. Okay, we just need to pull the trigger on this. And cut that membrane. I'm scared of cutting it because once we do, we're committed to it.
I know.
And right now it's holding water.
There's so much dirt right there.
Okay, I'm gonna go get the tripod so we can set up our camera. We'll set up all the cameras. Oh,
Huh. I know. Are we doing that today?
maybe, but
see.
probably not
Tomorrow, for sure.
tomorrow. And this guy's gonna go back there
Yeah, in the garden.
in the garden and give us an area back there that'll be shaded, create a nice little
A windbreaker too.
a
once it's big
windbreaker.
enough,
And it's gonna be real pretty.
It is. I'm excited to see it.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna go get the tripod
All right.
and we'll get this show on the road.
There's something in the water. I feel it taking over me. It's slowly getting harder to breathe, to breathe, to breathe. And I don't know what's happening. How did it come to this? I saw danger on your lips, and I took a sip. You got
just for some additional precaution, some plumber's tape.
And I don't know what's happening. How did it come to this? Saw danger on your lips, and I took a sip. You got me paranoid, the fit I can avoid. Your kiss tastes like poison. My heart has been destroyed. I know that you'll enjoy watching me sip your poison.
So what happens when the failure is total? I can put in another week reworking the waterfall. That would require us sending this pump back for the upgrade and put us at a total of $500 into what was meant to be just a small side project. I could nix the waterfall altogether and focus on the pond itself, but right now I'm still too annoyed by the commitment I've locked us into by going so big. It can't just sit there broken, so now we have to fix it. The question is, at what point does dedication turn into compulsion? When does vision become delusion? Well, we'll find out next week.